Hi, I'm Abhinay Jain, Director Product-led Growth at CleverTap for Startups. And I'm very excited to have Sumit today with us. Sumit is a seasoned operator. He has been on the side of investment as well as, he's a seasoned entrepreneur. Very excited to have you today. Newme Asia has been making waves around. In the close circle within 1 year, what you have done, right? It's phenomenal. Get to see and hear a lot. And Sumit, very excited to have this conversation today.
Thank you, Abhinay. Pleasure to be on this call, on this podcast. I think you have been great support. Thanks for that support again publicly. I think fantastic person personally as well. You have been great support, man. So thanks for today.
Awesome. So good. So, Sumit, we will first start, right? As I mentioned, would love to know the journey, right? When did you guys start? Who are the founding members? And if you can tell us how many employees are there?
We are four founders. I am Sumit, and I am the founder and CEO. I take care of marketing, growth, and HR as well in the team. I have my other three co-founders. So starting with three of them, Shivam Tripathi. He comes from again operator background. He takes care of. He's the CEO of the company. My third co-founder Vinod. He's a seasoned champion of fashion among four of us. He comes with almost 20 years experience of fashion now. He has seen India's transformation retail industry. And the techie among us is Himanshu, who comes from IIT Kharagpur, was with Amazon and a couple of other startups before this. And again, we four started working together on this idea somewhere last year. In fact, Abhinay, the idea came to us somewhere in October 2021. And we took 6-7 months of our time to research a lot more, understand the white space, the consumer, is it a real need there or no? Read a lot of articles, met first-hand consumers across different parts of India, got some small checkup from investors as well. And we went live in July end last year. So it's already almost 13 and a half, 14 months now for business. And yeah, that's been a journey. This space is built, we are building Newme Asia, we call it Newme actually, for a young Gen Z audience. For us, the TG is mostly college students, students just passing their college school and at best in their first jobs. So ideally, if I were to define by age, around 18-24 or 16-24 now is my main TG. We want to remain relevant to them. And that's how we have been working on. In terms of what we're building an ultra fast fashion company for this audience. And the very clear insight is that we want to be the most trendiest fashion brand in the country. Now, when we say most trendiest, there's a lot of back-end work that happens. So to be very transparent for this audience, we are not a fashion company. We're a technology and data science company which sells fashion. A lot of things we do is backed by data and technology now. We launch weekly drops now, and a lot of collection is coming through a lot of data science today, right? And that makes us unique for the consumers.
I see a strong founding team, Sumit. You have got a space, you have seen your TG. How are you currently structured in terms of your internal team, like your product, marketing, growth, data science team, right? How many members do you have and how is it structured?
So, Abhinay, we had a tough journey, I must say that way, and I'm proud of it that happened that time. We were very short on funds from day one, but we wanted to build this business. We have a very young team, Abhinay, and none of them come from fashion world. Let me put that way as well.
Okay.
My 99.9% members are non-fashion people. Okay. Early days, we had one girl. She's 24 years in marketing, and she said she'll be Instagram in a particular format. I was like, "What's this new world?" But I said, "Do it, man. I trust you." We got one girl in buying side. Again, she comes from traditional fashion houses, and we got these two girls and said that we have to build this company. Then slowly we started learning. We were four founders, so we had by default more people because of four of us, and we started picking up battles and start seeing what can be done faster, right? So this was the first two people which we got on board. Then we got one or two girls in customer service team. That's how we started journey. Slowly we started adding people in technology. Himanshu is equal to 10 people in technology, so he writes his own code. The first version of website was written by him.
Okay.
That's it. And he wrote himself the entire code, which is what the kind of hands-on experience the team brings to table, right? And I think that's been our focus, that we have always been hands-on operators ourselves. So it never came a challenge to us.
Right.
Lately, we have scaled our business now, scaled our teams as well. We have got a proper marketing team in place now, which comprises of around 5 people now. Again, in marketing, there are two
Right.
parts, Abhinay: performance marketing or growth marketing, and content-led marketing. The average age of this team is 24 in marketing,
Very
except
nice.
me, right? And none of them come from fashion background at all, but they all come with a lot of consumer understanding, and that's what we wanted. That's
Exactly.
marketing. In buying team, we have the head of design. She's a very seasoned professional. She was running her own startup before this. She has been with us from month two. We got team under buying team. More and more people came in. In fact, the way we interview people in buying is very different from typical fashion companies, right? In our interviews, we do Excel tests. Trust me. And that's
Oh,
something very unconventional for a fashion company.
correct.
Uh,
Yeah.
all the fashion colleges of India don't teach you Excel sheets. And that's a
Mm-hmm.
first criteria for us. If you don't do Excel sheets, you can't fit in Newme for buying team. We have scaled our product and tech team lately. So from March onwards, tech team has become already around 12, 13 people team now. And that has been a conscious effort to now build tech more faster. And product, we just closed a head of product just last week, Abhinay. He will join us in 2 months. Fantastic guy. We've got head of product design also is there now. So we've got decent size. Today we're around 60 people team between
Awesome.
Delhi, Mumbai, and Bangalore. Bangalore is our headquarters. Mumbai is our all the production happens in Mumbai, around Mumbai. We have a big team in Mumbai as well now, and then a small team in Delhi for warehouse.
Awesome. So you have already got your A team in place, Sumit. I believe it's good. This is a challenging phase at times as well, right? And, when you are moving from a maybe 10-member team to probably 50 plus, and that is probably the phase you are in. So you have done one part. Hiring itself is a huge challenge, right, in early days. So that seems to be working. Now, coming to business, Sumit, I have a couple of questions, right? You mentioned about your target audience, which is Gen Z. Okay, I was reading a little more about the audience, and I see that somewhere it's mentioned in India, when you're focused on India, right? For the time being, I'm talking about Indian market. You did mention about that this Gen Z, maybe some 375 million is what the target size is, and a lot of your customers come. I'm not sure, maybe you should correct this if the data is wrong, but you mentioned somewhere that 70% of your consumers actually, customers come from tier 2 cities, right? So just wanted to check, is this the right track? Is this the audience that you are building for? And is this the audience that you really are working day in and day out thinking about, or there are finer prints that I have missed here?
So I think on the prima facie, this is a right information, but I think there are a lot of nuances that is working behind the scenes, Abhinay.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Again, India, there are two or three Indias that we live in. I think a metro or a tier one girl has a lot of access to fashion by virtue of online and offline, but a
Right.
lot of fashion is not in tier two and tier three, and those markets have been neglected by the bigger brands today because they think it's not ready, which is where we have a very different thought, to be honest with you. We see a lot more demand from tier two and tier three because there is no options for them there. There's no place where they can go and buy trendy fashion at affordable price points, except one or
Right.
two typical traditional offline players. So for us, the problem is how do you make fashion relatable to all this generation? And these all people have common belief, different tastes, right? How do you solve it? That's a challenge, and that's where the problem becomes extremely exciting and super challenging, which
Correct.
means thinking first principle, doing a lot of experiments, and that's what we do every single day.
True, true. So, Sumit, I actually like this thought process which you have just mentioned, right? Hello, Sumit.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. Sorry. So I'm saying I like this thought process. I do have a question on this, right? I mean, this is something I have worked in e-commerce earlier. Something which I feel is tier two town is really challenging, right? Tier two town, catering to tier two town sometimes is challenging because, and one of the problems we hear it a lot about when customers come to CleverTap is they want to increase their average order value, right? So AOV is something they want to increase. And with tier 2 town, right, that is also another challenge because AOVs are generally lesser, logistics cost, RTOs are higher, right? So you have to bake in your margins that way. So are there any tips, tricks, or some experiments that you can share around, the way you look at AOVs, if you have done something over time, you have increased AOV, if you have got something, or how the overall play has been around AOV, if you can share some insights there.
So I think, Abhinay, we are looking at this business very different lens from a typical e-commerce company.
Mm-hmm.
Business we are into, we are looking at a lot of repeat users here. Okay, because our power users are buying from us on a weekly basis now. And you'll be shocked. They
Okay.
buy the way to buy groceries, they buy from us. This is real
Okay.
data I'm talking to you right now. And reason being
Mm-hmm.
very simple, this generation doesn't repeat clothes very easily. Trust me. Once they have put a photo on social media platforms, be it the Snapchat or Instagram or Facebook, etc. I think Facebook is dead for them, but mostly Instagram and Snapchat. They are very shy to put next post with the same dress. Okay,
Okay.
so there's a very big chance for us to make sure that how do we make them buy again and again from us,
Right.
and that's what we focus on. Coming to tier two and tier one, I don't see a massive difference in AOV till now. I think again the reason being our price points are very sharp. We are not selling at very high price points. We are keeping decent margins in our business today, but we focus on repeat orders a lot more on that side, right? So from
Right.
our perspective, there could be difference of 100 rupees between tier one and tier two, but it doesn't hurt me much till the time the girl is buying from me regularly. And I think I see a lot more repeat in tier two because of less options being there today compared to a tier one girl.
Understood, understood. So in a way, what I understand is you have understood your customer once acquired, right? What you have worked upon is the lifetime value of customer is what you're trying to maximize, and you have seen some pattern, some habit there, and based on that, you are ensuring, right? If they are not going to post again in the same outfit, let's sell them the next one as soon as possible, right?
Yes.
That brings us to the next question, which I think, right, which you mentioned at the start as well. This will put a tremendous pressure on the number of designs you need to churn out every week, right? I mean, I read 500 to 500 plus weekly designs, right? So I'm kind of, this 500 plus designs a week is a huge number, that in fashion, when production sizes, so many things are there, right? And a week, we are talking about a week, it's not even a month or a quarter, right? We are talking about a week. So how do you do it? What are the challenges you face? What are the things that you saw and you have cracked it? That gives you that gives you confidence. So if you can share more, how do you do it? That is something I'm very interested to know. Very much interested to know.
So Abhinay, while building fashion, we read about a lot of companies in fashion which got bankrupt, and during COVID or before COVID as well. And we found one single reason for that, and that was just one thing: inventory. Okay,
Right.
so we realize in the business where we are into, we have to always be inventory light by its
Hmm.
nature.
Right.
Okay, and that's where the data game comes in very handy for us. When we launch designs, there's literally no inventory at our backend.
Okay.
Okay, uh, we look at data points real time on these designs that we launch every week, and that is what goes to my factory partners to produce in limited quantities. So in this case, we do not deliver in 3 days. We deliver in 7 to 8 days, yes. But we optimize over time and efficiency there. And
Mm-hmm.
we call it the smart inventory model, which is what we have been able to crack at a secret sauce level today. How to build inventory and at what scale is very important for us. So typically, how we operate is we have built inventory of only 2 or 3 weeks in a business like
Okay.
ours. A traditional fashion
Okay.
house keeps at least 3 months inventory, and that's
Mm-hmm.
where they get screwed or they get concerns. When we launch designs, it doesn't work, we kill it. There's no inventory behind,
Okay.
it's okay.
Okay.
We
Okay.
create new designs next week, and that reduces
Understood.
pressure on us.
Understood. So in a way, what I understand is, so there are a lot of experiments running, right? Sumit, in the front, right, in terms of design, which one is working, and maybe then you need to figure out how much will it work, right, and then accordingly place an order. I'm assuming so. Um, who is responsible for this, right? Does it is your data? Do you have a separate data science team? How do you ensure collaboration is between the designers, data science, and maybe I don't know, growth or marketing team, right? Because they are getting the demand. So I mean, I find it it's a very tough problem, right? So how do you manage it? If you can share more on between the data that comes and the teams operating, right? So how do you make it work?
So that's a very good question, Abhinay. It's a very, very closed loop of buying, data, and marketing or growth team, right? Buying teams looks at trends first. There are a lot of sources of trends we have built, which is again past peak customer data. Again, it's not only sales. We look at around 13, 14 different metrics in our
Okay.
business before we come a design is hero or not non-hero, right? That data goes to my buying team. That's why we do the Excel tests on day one before even hiring them, right? That is where the magic happens on the bot. They give insights to the factory partners of what is
Right.
trending, then there's a design team who says how to convert these trends to actual design for Indian consumer. Again, we have to work for Indian consumer. And again, a lot of time people say we are Urbanic of India, we are Sheen of India. That's something I never contradicted, but I don't never support it also, because I feel we are Newme of India. Okay,
Right.
the way we're building this business, we are building it for India, for Indian girls, be it in Chennai, be it in Punjab, be it in Delhi, be it in Mumbai, be it in Calcutta. We have to solve for them, right? So data design and then growth work very closely. In fact, that's where the sync is very important for us, and that's where again technology comes in picture. We are building internal tool now, which will bring all this collaboration together on one platform as we scale from here. And right now it's happening manually, either Google Sheets, which something we want to now productize it over time.
Awesome. I also saw, Sumit, you have opened, your offline outlet as well, right? So, can you share more thoughts or some initial learnings that you have already got, right, by opening? Does it help you take better decisions with data, or it has led to making many changes in the process, and probably after some investment you will see, it working and kind of becoming a part of your strategy? How does that offline thing going at this
So I'll
point?
be honest here, Abhinay. The offline was again a lot of consumer push to us. Okay. As a company, we have a culture that, no matter anybody in the company, we have to make 10 customer calls every week. That's a culture in the company, including myself. I have to talk to 10 customers every week. That's a culture we have built from day one. And I'm proud of that, because this generation is completely different from us. This is a complete new consumer class, Abhinay. And
Right.
that's the reason we always believe that we are still on the very, very basic today. We know about this consumer class. This is still evolving. This is still, surprising every single day. Coming to offline, again, this came from a consumer, and when we went very deep, we realized there's a big trust issue in a company like us today. Reason being very simple: designs are too good to be true. That's what exact word some people told me. That I am not sure does this price really come in real or not.
Okay.
And
Okay.
when we got into more detail of it, more customers, we found that fashion by default is a very low entry barrier business. Anybody can open with 30 designs on a Shopify or any other platform and start selling tomorrow. But moment you go on offline, your trust factor becomes 100x straight, right?
Okay.
And we realize that why not we open a store which is again data backed. So even before we opened this store, we looked at data for 3 months on those selected pin codes, on selected designs, what will sell, etc. So if I look at, say, a traditional store which has, say, 10% conversion rate, we already have 40% or 50% more than them in conversion rates easily. Okay, and that's all because we are doing in store also not things designed by data. Like designs which will go in store, what is selling, what is not selling is all backed by data there as well. And that is what we are trying to solve with technology in this space also now. As we
Okay.
speak, we are opening 3 to 4 more stores in
Oh,
next
nice.
45 days. And very simple learning has been that, it has to be unique store. First of all, you can't copy paste same store in every store now. And that's been our biggest thing. When you say Newme has to be new every single time. Internal discussions, that's what internally we have built, right? And that's the reason why when you come to next store, you will see a very different store from this store. When you go to next store, and after that, it will be a different store again, right? The chameleon remains the same, the logo remains the same, but the chameleon changes color every single time.
Oh,
And that's
okay.
what we build a logo around. That's what we build a story around the brand now.
Okay, nice. Very nice. That's very interesting. Yeah. Okay, awesome. So the now I really understand when you mentioned, right, as part of interview, you need to know Excel, right? It's a technology company, it's a data company. You are coming here, right? I'm not sure even for office boy, you ask one day, right? You know this, it's possible, but that's something, right? I think that very much justifies, right? It shows the culture, it shows what you are building and what is at the core of it, right? So before fashion, actually, technology is very, very critical. You know, trends are changing every day and you have to be really fast. Is there something, Sumit, that you feel, right, in last, it's not a long journey, but yes, it has been an aggressive 13, 14 months, right? Is there something that you feel, just one thing that you felt that, hey, I should have done this differently, right? Anything that comes to your mind that you would have liked
I
to
think just
change?
one thing, I should have opened store much earlier in my career.
Okay. Oh, nice,
I
very
feel that
nice.
honestly, that's been a different eye opener for us. I wish I could have done it uh, at least 3 to 4 months earlier than when we did. We did it in July. If we done it in February, March, I'm sure we could have been a much bigger company today.
Right, right. I think it's anyways, I feel it's pretty early, but yes, I mean, you have the data, you have the knowledge, so yeah, maybe, right. I mean, there's always something that is there. On the other side, now coming back to some retention and some of this customer engagement, right? What do you find currently the biggest challenge that your team and everyone is trying to solve for, right? Is there something like, I mean, when I used to be part of e-commerce, our equation used to be simple: visitors into conversion into AOV, right? I mean, that's how we used to simplify the business, right? But is there something that you are currently more focused on, let's say getting more traffic either through repeat customers or new customers, or the focus is currently on something else, conversions? What is that you are trying to solve currently for in terms of customer retention and engagement?
So I think we're keeping it very simple, Abhinay. What we believe is that we have got the dopamine that the Gen Z wants today. That is very trendy designs, and this is like a stress buster, time pass, whatever you call it, you can call it. But the TG spends a lot of time. On an average, a girl spends roughly 1.5 hours just browsing different shopping websites. This is data we have from our customers today.
Oh,
Okay,
nice.
so what we are cap today focusing, I don't think we're focusing on conversion rates or AOV and all. Trust me, my focus has been always around how do I make sure that a girl spends 30 minutes per day on Newme platform. That's my simple
Right.
thing I'm targeting right now, and I'm very
Absolutely.
far from that today. Okay, and
Mhm.
and there's data for it. Moment a girl spends more than 13 to 14 minutes on my platform, the propensity to buy is 100%,
Mhm.
not even 99.
Mhm.
Okay,
Got it.
and the more the time she spends, the higher the AOV is. Okay,
Okay,
so she's
okay,
buying more
okay.
and more items and she's spending more and more time on my platform. So my simple problem solve is how do I make it from X minutes to 3X minutes from now, or 5X minutes from now.
Awesome. So, this is very helpful, Sumit. I love the entire approach. I loved what you guys are doing. It was a pleasure talking to you. Some insights were so good. I thoroughly enjoyed the conversation, and thanks for letting us at CleverTap being a part of your journey. We are very proud of the data-backed solution that you are building. Right, it's a tough challenge, and we are very proud that we get an opportunity to partner with you. Thank you so much for taking your time. Have a great day.
Thank you, Abhinay. Thanks. Have a good day, man. Thanks for inviting me today. Thanks again.